They said, we really want to push the edge, and, we loved your movie, and, we would love for you to create something for us.
Keenan Ivory Wayans, the genius behind In Living Color, has been a pioneer in reshaping comedy with his fearless, boundary-pushing humor. But behind the laughs and cultural impact of his groundbreaking show lies a web of secrets, from backstage tensions to controversies that nearly derailed its success. What really happened during those chaotic years? For the first time, Wayans opens up about the hidden struggles, shocking firings, and untold dramas that shaped the legacy of In Living Color. Get ready to uncover the darkest secrets of this comedy revolution. Cast dynamics and challenges. Keenan Ivory Wayans has long been a master of comedy, known for his sharp wit, boundless imagination, and an ability to make people laugh since his early years. From childhood pranks to stand-up comedy and eventually Hollywood, his path was shaped by an unyielding passion for humor. However, his biggest breakthrough came with the creation of the groundbreaking sketch comedy show In Living Color, which took the 1990s by storm. Before In Living Color, Wayans had already tasted success with a few films, but nothing compared to what the show would become. It was a cultural revolution, redefining television and launching the careers of many future stars. Yet the journey to creating the show was far from easy. The casting process was notoriously tough. Even legendary comedians like Chris Rock and Martin Lawrence auditioned but didn't make the cut. Every performer had to prove themselves through intense auditions involving script reads, improvisations, and live performances. Some, like Mark Curry, turned down the opportunity, but the energy surrounding the show was undeniable. Fox, eager to give Wayans creative freedom, had no idea what they were in for. Initially thrilled with the concept, the network quickly grew anxious as Wayans pushed the boundaries of comedy. Barry Diller, the head of Fox at the time, approved the show, but as the air date approached, doubts crept in. Peter Chernin, another Fox executive, reached out to Wayans in a panic, fearing the bold sketches might stir too much controversy. What followed was a tense year of back and forth with the network, as Fox assembled a team of sensitivity researchers to comb through every joke and sketch, trying to predict any potential backlash. The situation felt more like a covert operation than a comedy show. Despite these obstacles, In Living Color eventually hit the airwaves and became a massive success. However, even with success came challenges. As the show evolved, some of the original cast left, and the dynamic shifted. Tommy Davidson, one of the standout stars, recalled how the familial bond they once shared began to fade. The magic was gone, he admitted. The show was still funny, but it no longer felt like home. Davidson faced personal battles during the show's run, including a struggle with substance addiction. Despite interventions from friends and colleagues, including Wayans himself, Davidson struggled to acknowledge the problem. "I didn't even realize I had a problem until it was too late," he confessed. Despite these challenges, Wayans always believed in Davidson's talent, calling him the Energizer Bunny for his tireless energy and versatility in comedy. Davidson's contributions remained a cornerstone of In Living Color, even as he navigated his personal demons. In Living Color drama. Behind the scenes of In Living Color, drama simmered beneath the surface. Relationships among cast members weren't always professional, and rumors of romantic entanglements added to the tension. Even Keenan Ivory Wayans, the show's creator, found himself caught in the gossip. Speculation grew that he had a romantic relationship with Kim Coles, one of the actresses. When Kim was abruptly fired after just one season, the rumor mill went wild, with whispers suggesting that their rumored relationship played a role in her departure. Kim's exit left fans and colleagues puzzled. She recalled, "I got a call from my agent telling me not to show up on Monday. I had no idea what I'd done wrong." With the show performing well, her sudden firing came as a shock. The controversy surrounding her departure cast a shadow over what had otherwise been a highly successful show. Rumors swirled, with Kim eventually confronting Keenan about her firing. Although their conversation brought some clarity, it didn't ease the sting of her dismissal. Kim later publicly shared her belief that Keenan's sister, Kimberly Wayans, who was also part of the cast, had influenced her firing. Kim felt that Kimberly received special treatment, overshadowing her. This perceived favoritism only deepened Kim's suspicions that family loyalty, rather than professional judgment, led to her exit. A source close to the situation supported Kim's claim, noting that Kimberly seemed to receive more attention, leaving Kim sidelined. Though Keenan addressed the issue, his humorous take didn't resolve the lingering tensions, with one colleague noting, "Keenan never really admits he might have been wrong." The drama didn't stop there. In Living Color launched the careers of numerous stars, including Jennifer Lopez, whose time as a fly girl was also mired in rumors. Gossip columns buzzed with talk of a potential romance between Keenan and Lopez, though no concrete evidence ever surfaced. Both Keenan and Lopez stayed silent, letting the rumors die down, at least publicly. Amid all this, Jamie Foxx, another rising star, wasn't shy about stirring the pot. Fox was known for his off-screen antics and mischievous persona, adding fuel to the romantic speculations. His behavior caused friction with fellow cast member Tommy Davidson. In his memoir Living in Color, Me and Me, Tommy opened up about the tension between them, describing Jamie as talented but overly competitive and sometimes unkind. Jamie's jokes often crossed the line from playful to hurtful, especially in front of Keenan, who found the antics amusing. Reflecting on the dynamic, Keenan remarked, "Jamie's like a little devil. He loves to push people's buttons, and Tommy would always hope I'd step in. But I never did. I found it too funny." The playful yet chaotic atmosphere of In Living Color continued to stir both brilliance and controversy, censorship and network control. The show was a whirlwind of chaos and laughter, much like the sketches themselves. At the heart of this comedic storm were the Wayans brothers, who seemed unstoppable. Their sketches were bold, audacious, and often pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable on television at the time. With every episode, the show's popularity skyrocketed, resonating with audiences who loved its no-holds-barred humor. But, as is often the case in television, the very things that made the show great would eventually lead to its downfall. So what went wrong? Two major factors: censorship and reruns. As the show gained more attention, it also started to catch the eye of network executives, and not always in a good way. The network began tightening its grip, censoring content they deemed too edgy. Keenan Ivory Wayans, the creative force behind the show, reflected on this in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. "We fought against it," he said, "but in the end I was okay with it." He understood there were limits to what could be aired on TV, but what frustrated him the most was the unpredictability. "I didn't have problems with the censors. I wasn't crazy. I knew there were limits. It was more about how far I could push it. They just needed to tell me where the line was. The problem was that the line kept moving every week. One week you could do something, and the next week you couldn't. We were always trying to figure out where the line was." This moving target made it nearly impossible for Keenan and his team to maintain the same level of creativity and edge that had made the show a hit in the first place. However, censorship wasn't the only issue that plagued the show. The network made a decision that would deal a serious blow to its momentum. They started airing reruns of old episodes while new ones were still being produced. To Keenan, this was a devastating move. He recalled how the news came to him suddenly, just before the weekend. "The network told me on a Friday night that they were going to announce the reruns on Monday," he said. "They didn't give me any time to stop them. It was really sneaky. I was shocked. I kept saying, 'You're joking.'" What stung even more was the fact that Keenan had always been the one in charge of such decisions, but with this move, the network had stripped him of that control. "I was supposed to be in charge of these decisions, but they took that away from me. It felt like all the years I put into the show were being wasted." The decision to air reruns while the show was still on the air didn't just affect its immediate viewership, it cheapened the value of the episodes themselves. Keenan believed that this misstep not only harmed the current run of the show, but also tainted its legacy. The reruns made the show feel less special, less exciting. Audiences were being bombarded with old content when they were still hungry for fresh, original sketches. It was a move that hurt both the show and the Wayans brothers brand. Adding to the frustration was the fact that the rights to the old episodes were set to revert back to the Wayans brothers the following year. But the network, eager to squeeze every last drop out of the show, jumped the gun and began airing reruns before that transition could take place. To Keenan, this felt like a betrayal. They were using the show to promote other shows, and they were making it less valuable, he explained. It wasn't just about the reruns. It was about the feeling that the show was being exploited, reduced to a tool for boosting the network's ratings at the expense of the Wayans brothers' hard work. Ultimately, it was this combination of censorship and reruns that led to Keenan Ivory Wayans walking away from the show in the middle of its 4th season. "I felt like they were taking advantage of me," he said, and that feeling was too much to bear. What had once been a creative playground full of wild, boundary-pushing humor had become a battleground of compromises and frustrations. In the end, the network's decisions didn't just hurt the show in the short term, they impacted its long-term legacy. What had once been a trailblazing comedy juggernaut was reduced to a cog in the network's broader machine. It wasn't that the show had lost its charm or the Wayans brothers had run out of ideas. The external pressures had simply become too great. What remained was a show that, for all its brilliance, had been bogged down by forces outside its creator's control. The magic started to lose its spark in Season 4. The atmosphere on the set of In Living Color had started to unravel, creating a tense and increasingly toxic work environment. According to a book about the show, tensions ran high both on and off camera, leaving little room for the kind of creative freedom that had once defined it. Actress Anne Marie Johnson, who joined the show in its 4th season, described the experience as particularly difficult. Behind the scenes, conflicts brewed constantly between the cast, crew, and even the network itself. The book suggests that Keenan Ivory Wayans, the show's creator, was deeply frustrated by what he saw as interference from the network, which seemed to be working against the success of the show. Beyond his dissatisfaction with the network, Keenan also faced criticism for his leadership style. Some claimed he was overly controlling and unwilling to listen to the input of others. Accusations of favoritism emerged, particularly concerning his treatment of his siblings, who also starred on the show. This perception of unequal treatment only added fuel to the growing discord. When Keenan made the decision to leave the show, the rest of the Wayans family followed suit, marking a pivotal moment in the show's decline. The book suggests that Keenan wasn't particularly heartbroken when the show began to falter after his departure, almost as if he anticipated its demise without him at the helm. His exit signaled the beginning of the end for a show that had once revolutionized comedy. When Keenan left, it was as if the show had lost its heart. He himself admitted, "When the creator of the show leaves, you kind of lose the essence of it." Indeed, much of the show's special energy and originality came from Keenan's vision. Without him, the final season felt like a shadow of its former self. Fans and critics alike noted that something crucial was missing, and the show struggled to maintain the spark that had made it so beloved. It's no surprise that the show's ratings declined in its later episodes, as it failed to capture the spirit that had once set it apart. Yet, despite its turbulent ending, In Living Color remains one of the most groundbreaking comedy shows of its time. It was a breeding ground for fresh, innovative humor, and it helped launch the careers of several now famous comedians. The characters, sketches, and bold approach to comedy are still remembered and celebrated. The show's influence can still be felt today, and it continues to hold a revered place in the world of comedy. Even years after it went off the air, In Living Color maintains a strong fan base. Reruns of the show still attract viewers, and its cultural impact is far from forgotten. In fact, pop star Bruno Mars paid homage to the show's iconic opening credits in his music video for Finesse, demonstrating the lasting legacy it holds. There were even serious talks of reviving the show in 2012, though nothing came to fruition. So what became of the actors who once lit up the screen? While the show may have ended in 1994, its cast has gone on to have fascinating careers, many of which continue to shape the entertainment industry. Keenan Ivory Wayans. After the groundbreaking success of In Living Color, Damon Wayans continued to carve out his niche in Hollywood, mastering the art of comedic spoofs. His sharp humor and fearless approach were evident in hits like the Scary Movie franchise, which cemented his status as a king of parody. In 2006, he directed Little Man, a film that blended his signature slapstick style with family humor. Though his role behind the camera took a pause after that, Wayans didn't fade from the spotlight. In 2014, he brought his comedy expertise to the judging panel on Last Comic Standing, helping to shape the next generation of comedians. Even in 2020, he remained a creative force, penning an episode for The Last OG, proving that his comedic brilliance continues to evolve with time. Damon Wayans. Damon Wayans became a household name thanks to his time on In Living Color, where his hilarious character, Anton Jackson, a lovable drunk, quickly made him a fan favorite. But before that, Damon had a short stint on Saturday Night Live, where his comedic talent first began to shine. After In Living Color, Damon's brother Keenan Ivory Wayans moved into a leading role on the ABC sitcom My Wife and Kids. Playing Michael Kyle, a caring and sometimes over-the-top dad, Keenan showcased Black family life in a positive, relatable way. The show, which also starred Tisha Campbell as his wife, touched on real-life family issues while keeping audiences laughing. Damon himself took on a different challenge, starring as a detective in the action-packed series Lethal Weapon for 3 years, before leaving the role in 2019. Now, Damon is gearing up for a new chapter. He's set to star alongside his son, Damon Wayans Jr., in an upcoming show called Papa's House, promising to bring another dose of humor and family-centered storytelling to the screen. Kim Wayans. Kim Wayans has always been a versatile talent. As an actress and comedian, she made a name for herself with her sharp impressions of icons like Oprah, Vanessa Williams, and Whitney Houston. But it wasn't just her mimicry that made her memorable. It was her original characters, too. Take Benita, for example. Benita was the woman who always seemed fed up with life's little frustrations, and Kim brought that character to life in a way that made everyone laugh because it felt so relatable. In 2002, Kim reunited with Tommy Davidson, her co-star from In Living Color, in the movie Juana Man. She played a WNBA player in the film, showing how her humor and energy could make any character fun to watch. But that's not all Kim could do. She proved her dramatic chops in the 2011 movie Pariah, where she took on a role that showed a completely different side of her. The film is about a young black teenager coming to terms with her sexuality, and Kim played Audrey, the girl's mother. Audrey's love for her child is undeniable, but she struggles deeply with accepting who her daughter really is. In this role, Kim demonstrated that she wasn't just about making people laugh. She could break their hearts, too. Through it all, Kim Wayans has shown that her talent has no limits. Sean and Marlon Wayans. Sean and Marlon Wayans have built their careers on a combination of talent and chemistry. They're not just actors, comedians, writers, and directors. They're even better when they team up. Sean first made his mark on In Living Color, starring in the first 4 seasons, while Marlon joined the show in its final season. They quickly became a dynamic duo, taking their energy to movies like Scary Movie and Little Man. But their most iconic film together is White Chicks. In this comedy, they play FBI agents who go undercover as white women to solve a crime. Although the movie didn't win over critics at the time, fans embraced it, and it's become a cult classic. Many people now associate the song 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton with the hilarious scene featuring Terry Crews. While Sean hasn't been in the spotlight as much lately, there are rumors of a White Chicks sequel, and Marlon continues to thrive, even starring in the 2023 movie Air, alongside big names like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is a name that almost everyone knows today, but his journey to fame has been full of interesting turns. Many younger fans might not realize that before he was a big movie star or a Grammy-winning musician, he got his start on a comedy show called In Living Color. He joined the show during its third season and quickly became a fan favorite with his hilarious performances. That success helped him land his own sitcom, The Jamie Foxx Show, where he showed off his comedic chops and natural charm. But Jamie didn't stop at TV. He moved to the big screen where his talent truly shined. His role as Ray Charles in the 2004 movie Ray earned him both an Oscar and a Golden Globe, cementing his place in Hollywood. Jamie has proven himself to be incredibly versatile. He's starred in a wide range of films, including the animated hit Soul in 2020. But acting isn't his only talent. Jamie is also an accomplished musician with a string of hit songs to his name. Tracks like Slow Jams, Gold Digger, and Blame It made waves on the charts, with Blame It even winning him a Grammy. Even though Jamie is now more focused on his acting career, his music continues to be loved by fans. And speaking of acting, he's set to appear alongside Robert De Niro in the upcoming film Tin Soldier, which has fans eagerly waiting to see what he does next. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment, and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest content.